Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, eyes open in the dark, while your thoughts keep circling like a storm you can't quiet? Maybe it's the weight of yesterday's choices, or the pressure of tomorrow's expectations. Your body aches for rest, but your mind clings to its noise. The harder you chase sleep, the further it seems to drift away. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. So many of us know that silent battle, where exhaustion wraps around our bones, but the mind insists on wandering. We try everything: soft music, guided meditations, blue light filters, even pills. And yet, sleep slips through our fingers like water. But what if the answer isn't found in doing more, but in simply allowing? What if peaceful rest isn't something we force, but something we gently invite by loosening our grip? Buddhist wisdom reminds us that serenity doesn't come from fixing every problem. It comes from releasing our attachment to them. The Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." These words don't just guide us through the struggles of daily life. They can also lead us through the darkness of a restless night. So tonight, instead of fighting your thoughts, let's try something different. Let's follow a quieter path, a path of awareness, surrender, and compassion. Together, we'll explore timeless Buddhist practices designed to ease the mind, calm the body, and make space for rest to arrive on its own. Close your eyes. Take a deep, slow breath and allow yourself to let go. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Why peace eludes us at night. Before we can invite calm into our nights, we must first understand why it slips away so easily. Why is it that sleep, something so natural, becomes such a struggle, especially as the years pass? Buddhism teaches that suffering often comes not from what happens around us, but from our attachment to thoughts and desires. While we usually think of attachment in terms of things or people, there's another, subtler form, the attachment to mental noise. We replay memories that can't be changed. We imagine futures we cannot control. Our thoughts chase each other like clouds in a stormy sky, never settling, never still. No wonder rest feels impossible. There's a timeless Buddhist parable of a man who sought the Buddha's help. "My sleep is broken," he said. "My mind is full. My life is complicated." The Buddha responded with quiet compassion. "The waves of life will continue to rise. But you don't have to be carried away by every wave. You can learn to watch them, let them pass, and return to stillness." This teaching isn't about escaping problems. It's about seeing them differently. Life doesn't promise still waters. It promises change. And if we base our peace on having no worries at all, we'll forever be chasing the impossible. Consider the story of Eleanor, a retired nurse who spent many nights staring at the ceiling. Her thoughts would spiral the moment her head touched the pillow. Did I lock the front door? What if my son is hiding something from me? Why does my heart feel heavy tonight? The more she tried to quiet her thoughts, the louder they became. One evening, her neighbor, a longtime practitioner of meditation, offered a gentle image. Your mind is like a pond disturbed by wind. If you keep trying to still the surface by force, the ripples only grow. But if you sit quietly and let the wind pass, the water settles on its own. That night, Eleanor tried something new. She sat upright on her bed, took 3 slow breaths, and whispered to herself, "It's okay not to solve everything tonight. Peace doesn't mean perfection. It means permission to let go." With time, her mind began to cooperate. Not every night was perfect, but many became gentler. Our sleeplessness isn't always about external noise. It's often about our resistance to the moment. We grasp for control, even in the dark. But what if we softened our grip? Rather than wrestle with each worry, what if we simply noticed it and let it drift away, like petals on a quiet stream? As you lie down tonight, ask yourself, not with judgment, but with compassion, what am I clinging to right now? Can I set it down, just for this evening? In that quiet surrender, you may find what you've been searching for all along, the doorway to deep rest, already open, patiently waiting. Chapter 2: The Art of Unburdening the Mind. A young disciple once asked his elder, "Master, how do you always sleep so peacefully?" The teacher chuckled softly and replied, "At night, I lay down not just my robes, but my worries. I fold them away with care, just as I do my clothes." This gentle metaphor holds great power. Letting go isn't an act of denial. It's an act of compassion toward ourselves. Just as we don't climb into bed while carrying a heavy suitcase, why do we bring the weight of our thoughts under the covers? Take the example of an elderly woman named Helen. Each night, as darkness fell and silence filled her room, her mind would begin to speak in frantic whispers. Did I upset my daughter with what I said? Is my health beginning to decline? What if I become a burden to those I love? Her worries piled up like unopened mail, nagging, insistent, refusing to wait until morning. One day, Helen confided in a neighbor, an old friend who had spent years practicing Buddhist meditation. With kindness, her friend said, "Your thoughts are like visitors. Some bring gifts, others bring noise, but you don't have to invite all of them to stay the night." That evening, Helen tried something new. She sat by her bedside, opened a small notebook, and gently wrote down each worry that came to mind. Not to fix them, just to name them. She gave shape to her concerns, acknowledged them, and then closed the notebook. As she blew out her candle, she whispered, "These thoughts can wait. Tonight, I choose peace." And to her own surprise, sleep arrived without struggle. Letting go doesn't mean pretending our lives are free of pain or complexity. It means allowing ourselves a pause, a sacred gap between worry and rest. It's a way of saying to the mind, "You've worked enough today. Now you may rest." A gentle evening ritual. Across many Buddhist traditions, small evening practices are used to help the body and mind unwind. Here are 3 calming rituals you can try tonight. 1. Journaling to release the day. Spend just a few moments writing down anything that weighs on your mind. Don't solve, just observe. This sends a signal to the brain. You've been heard. Now it's time to rest. 2. The River of Lanterns. Visualization. Close your eyes and imagine a quiet river. One by one, place your worries inside small paper lanterns and watch them float gently downstream. Watch them fade into the night. You are not your thoughts. You are the stillness watching them pass. 3. A mantra for rest. Repeat a calming phrase, softly, slowly, until the body begins to relax. This day is done. I now choose peace. I've done my best. I let go of the rest. With each breath, I release and soften. With time, these practices reshape our relationship with night. They become invitations to stillness, not battlegrounds with the mind. Empty the cup before sleep. A Zen teacher once held up a teacup and asked, "If this cup is already full, can anything more be poured in?" The student smiled and said, "No, master. First it must be emptied." The same truth applies to sleep. A mind overflowing with thoughts has no room for peace. But if we empty it, even slightly, we make space for stillness to enter. So tonight, as you lie down, gently ask yourself, what weight am I carrying that I don't need to take into sleep? Whatever it is, let it rest beside your bed. You can return to it in the morning, if you wish. But for now, give yourself the kindness of release. Let the breath guide you. Let silence cradle you. Let sleep come, softly, naturally. Chapter 3. The Breath, a Gentle Doorway to Sleep. In the heart of Buddhist wisdom, there lies a simple yet powerful truth. The breath is not just a biological rhythm, it is a spiritual anchor. It is the thread that ties us to the present, a quiet companion that never leaves our side. For centuries, monks have turned to the breath not only to center themselves in meditation, but also to gently cross the threshold into deep, healing sleep. Yet for most of us, the breath goes unnoticed, lost in the noise of our restless thoughts. How often do we pause and simply listen to it? A Zen teacher once said, "If the mind is turbulent, listen to the breath. If the breath is steady, the mind will follow." In these few words, we are reminded of the deep bond between our thoughts and our breathing. When our breath becomes shallow and hurried, the mind mirrors that pace. But when we slow it down, soft, steady, intentional, our thoughts begin to quiet and the body starts to release its tension. Consider the story of Haruto, an elderly woodworker from Kyoto. In his younger days, Haruto would lose himself for hours in the delicate curves of carved wood. The steady rhythm of his tools, the scent of cedar, and the focus of his hands brought him a natural peace. But now, in the quiet of his retirement, peace had grown elusive. Nights became long hours of tossing and turning, his mind revisiting old regrets and unfinished business. No tea, bath, or trick seemed to still the storm within him. One evening, weary from sleepless nights, Haruto sought the counsel of a lifelong friend, a monk known for his deep meditation practice. As they sat together, the monk handed Haruto a warm cup of tea. "Drink this," he said with a gentle smile. Haruto sipped slowly, the warmth calming his body. Then the monk asked, "Did you think about how to drink the tea?" Confused, Haruto shook his head. "I just drank it." "Exactly," the monk replied. "Breathing works the same way. It doesn't need to be forced. Just return to it, and it will guide you." That night, Haruto lay in bed and did nothing but notice the rise and fall of his breath. He didn't try to chase sleep or fight his thoughts. Instead, he simply followed the natural flow of his breathing. Gradually, the tension in his body eased. His thoughts began to dissolve into the quiet rhythm of each inhale and exhale. And as if invited by stillness itself, sleep came, soft and undemanding, for the first time in years. There is a simple practice anyone can try. Before sleep, close your eyes and place one hand on your chest, the other on your belly. Feel how your body breathes without effort. Inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4, feeling your belly expand like a balloon. Then exhale slowly to a count of 6, letting tension fall away with the breath. With each cycle, repeat silently in your mind, "I am here," as you breathe in, "I am safe," as you breathe out, and "I am at peace," as you release. This quiet ritual speaks directly to the nervous system, gently signaling that the day is done and it's time to let go. Science confirms what ancient teachings have long known. Slow, conscious breathing soothes the body. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, calming the heart rate, lowering blood pressure, and inviting the mind into a state of rest. But beyond its biological power, breath in Buddhism is a path back to now. It is not just about falling asleep, it is about falling into presence. The breath doesn't linger in yesterday or rush into tomorrow. It stays here. And by following it, we too can return to this moment, where peace patiently waits. So tonight, don't struggle to fall asleep. Don't wrestle with the past or fear the future. Simply rest your awareness on the breath. Trust its rhythm. Let it lead you, not just into sleep, but into stillness. You don't have to chase rest. You only have to welcome it. Chapter 4: A Mindful Journey into the Body for Deep Sleep. A restless mind makes rest feel impossible, but instead of resisting it, what if we simply guided it home? Rather than wrestle with thoughts, imagine gently softening into the body, letting the breath deepen, and allowing awareness to settle quietly into the now. This is the essence of the mindful body scan, a timeless practice rooted in Buddhist wisdom. Its purpose is not to chase sleep, but to create an inner atmosphere where sleep naturally arises. Just as a serene lake mirrors the moon effortlessly, a calm body becomes a cradle for restful sleep. The body, as a gateway to letting go. There was once an elderly man named Robert who spent years trying to conquer his insomnia. He tried every remedy he could find, from warm milk to medications and even counting sheep, but none silenced the racing thoughts that stirred as soon as his head hit the pillow. Night after night, he was visited by memories that lingered and anxieties that tightened around his chest. One evening, desperate for peace, Robert visited a local meditation teacher. "No matter what I try," he confessed, "my mind runs wild at bedtime, like a river after heavy rain." The teacher smiled gently and offered him a cup of tea. "Feel the warmth in your palms," he said. "Notice the steam rising. Feel the weight of the cup. Sip slowly and let yourself be here, fully." As Robert followed this simple instruction, a shift occurred. His breathing eased. His shoulders released their tension. The whirlwind in his mind began to quiet. Something as small as tuning into the senses had anchored him in the present. "The body is always here," the teacher said, placing a hand on Robert's arm. "The mind travels far and wide, but if you invite your mind back into the body, you'll find peace." That night, Robert didn't try to stop his thoughts. Instead, he brought his attention to the sensations in his body, each limb softening, each breath deepening. And for the first time in many years, he surrendered to sleep without effort. The body scan, a gentle descent into stillness. As you prepare for rest, lie down comfortably. Let your arms rest beside you, your palms open. Gently close your eyes. Inhale slowly, then exhale completely. Now begin the journey inward. Start with your feet. Notice any sensations, tingles, tightness, warmth, and allow them to melt, as if dissolving into a soft pool. Move your attention upward to your legs. Feel the muscles lengthen and release. Let go of the day's tension in your calves and thighs. Shift to your belly. Soften this space. Notice the rise and fall of your breath here. Easy, natural, unforced. Bring awareness to your hands and arms. Unclench, unwind. Let your shoulders drop, unburdened by the day. Now feel your face. Let your jaw relax, your forehead smooth, your eyes become heavy like petals folding in the night. Finally, rest your awareness at the crown of your head. Imagine a wave of warmth spreading down your body, a quiet breeze sweeping over still land. By the end of this practice, your body will have become the very ground on which sleep gently walks. Why it helps us let go. This practice is more than a sleep aid. It's a doorway to presence. In Buddhist thought, anchoring ourselves in the body allows the mind to settle. When we attend to our physical experience, we interrupt the cascade of thoughts that pull us away from peace. With gentle repetition, this becomes a natural pathway to rest, a reminder to the mind and body that it's safe to loosen the grip of the day. So tonight, before drifting off, ask yourself this: can I allow myself to rest without needing to fix anything? If you can, then the doorway to sleep is already open. Chapter 5: Sleep as a Sacred Ritual of Renewal. In the teachings of Buddhism, sleep is far more than biological necessity. It is a sacred act of replenishment. Just as even the brightest flame must rest, we too must return to stillness to regain our energy. Sleep is not time lost, but a spiritual opening, an invitation to release control, to restore the body, and to awaken with fresh presence. There is a Zen tale about a young monk who resisted rest. Believing that more meditation would fast-track his enlightenment, he pushed his body beyond exhaustion each night. His teacher, observing his struggle, quietly offered wisdom. A bow pulled too tight will snap. One too loose will never sing. Harmony lies in balance. In that moment, the monk realized that wisdom doesn't grow through force. It blooms through harmony and care. The Buddha gently reminded his followers, rest the body, rest the mind, and begin again with the dawn. Sleep in this light is neither indulgence nor laziness. It is healing. It is presence. It is a silent offering we make to ourselves each night, a quiet act of compassion. Transforming the way we see sleep. Modern life often turns sleep into a battleground. We place demands on it. I must fall asleep now, or if I don't sleep, tomorrow will be ruined. These thoughts create resistance, tightening the mind instead of softening it. But what if we met sleep the way we meet meditation, without force, without judgment, with gentle trust? Sleep isn't something to conquer, it's something to invite. There was an elderly woman named Maria who had lived by strict routines her entire life. Early mornings, long work hours, constant movement. But in her later years, she found herself lying in bed, eyes open, mind spinning. One quiet night beneath the moon, she remembered her grandmother's words. The moon never rushes. The sun doesn't hurry. Yet both always arrive. That evening, Maria changed her approach. She stopped chasing rest and began to welcome it like a familiar companion. She whispered, "My body remembers how to sleep." Without pressure or expectation, her breath slowed, her muscles softened, and rest arrived, gently, like a breeze through an open window. Planting seeds of intention before sleep. Just as a meditation begins with intention, so can rest. A few quiet words can shift the inner dialogue from striving to surrender. Tonight, I offer myself rest. May I awaken renewed. I let go of today with gratitude. Tomorrow will take care of itself. I return to the rhythm of life. These intentions act as gentle stepping stones, leading the mind from tension to tranquility, from effort to ease. The sacredness of waking. In Buddhist practice, waking is treated as a quiet miracle. Rather than diving into distraction the moment our eyes open, we are encouraged to pause, to meet the day with reverence. In Thai monasteries, monks begin each morning with a simple verse. I am alive today. This is a blessing. May I live with wisdom and kindness. What if we began our mornings like this? Before reaching for our phones or to-do lists, we could offer ourselves a moment of gratitude. This breath is a gift. I've been given another day. May I walk through it with peace. I am grateful for this body and all it carries. May my actions today bring joy to myself and to others. When we treat sleep and waking as spiritual practices, we release the struggle that surrounds rest. We begin to move through life with more softness, more awareness, and more grace. So tonight, as you prepare to close your eyes, remember, you are not doing it wrong if sleep doesn't come immediately. You are learning to rest, not just your body, but your spirit. And with each night, that practice becomes more natural. Conclusion. Life will always place obstacles in our path. Grief, anger, desire, fear. But it's not the presence of these emotions that defines us. It's how we respond to them. Buddhist philosophy doesn't ask us to run from pain. It teaches us to sit with it, understand it, and rise beyond it. Each struggle is not a sign of failure, but an invitation to awaken, to let go, to breathe, and to begin again. So today, take a deep breath. Let the noise fade. Let go of what weighs you down. Remember, peace is not something you find outside. It's something you uncover within. And every moment offers a new chance to return to it. If this message resonated with you, help us spread this wisdom. Like, share, and subscribe for more content that nourishes the mind and uplifts the soul. And in the comments, tell us, what's one thing you're choosing to let go of today? The path may be long, but you're not walking it alone. We're right here with you.